Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a product empties video. If you don't know what that is, product empty videos are basically I go through the products that I've used up in the past month or so and I share with you what I think about them and if I would repurchase them. I have a lot of products to go through today and I thought I would go through them and get done with them now. I know I have a bunch of products that are coming up that are going to be empty soon, so I wanted to share these before the video became too long and super overwhelming. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with skincare first. The first couple of things that I have are products that you saw in my last Empties video and you'll probably see in almost every Empties video that I do. Those are the Proactive Extra Strength Formula Cleanser and the Proactive Extra Strength Formula Treatment Lotion. I use both of these every night and I've been using this formula Proactive since I was in high school, so it's been a good 8 years at least that I've been using this. I use it all the time and I'm a little bit scared of what would happen to my face if I stopped using it because it does a really good job of keeping my skin mostly clear. I still get random breakouts and things like that, but it does a nice job of keeping my skin pretty clear, and I've gone off of it before and my skin completely freaked out and it was terrible, so I will probably keep repurchasing these and using them for a long time yet. The next thing that I have is the St. Ives Blemish Control Apricot Scrub, and it has salicylic acid in it. What I found out about this scrub was that sometimes it was a little bit too harsh for me. I felt like at times it was scratching my skin rather than just exfoliating like I wanted it to. So I have bought a couple of other scrubs that I'm going to try out instead. I don't think I'm going to repurchase this one just because it was so harsh. Even though it's inexpensive, I don't feel like it was the best for my skin. The next thing that I have is a toner, and I got this in a set originally. I think I showed you guys the tea tree oil that I used last time, but this is the Tea Tree Skin Clearing Toner. And this is one that you had to kind of shake up because at the bottom stuff settled down here and it looked kind of like clay that settled down at the bottom, so I'd always shake it up. This lasted me quite a while and it always felt really refreshing because the tea tree oil is kind of invigorating. It's a nice toner. I felt like it got all the extra dirt and oil and things off of my face, and I would consider repurchasing it. I've been going through a couple of other toners that I have first, so I won't repurchase it in the near future, but I might go back to it eventually. The next couple of things that I have are cleansing towelette type things. The first thing that I have is the Makeup Remover Cleansing Towelettes from Up and Up. I showed these in my last video as well. I have a bunch of them under my sink. I really like these. They do a good job of taking off most of my face makeup. They don't really take off my eye makeup that well. I usually have to go in with a separate makeup remover, but these are nice if I want a quick way to take off my makeup. I have been gravitating towards my Garnier cleansing oil instead recently, but these were my go-to for a really long time and I like them quite a bit. I also have these Dickinson's oil controlling towelettes, which I've been using kind of as like a toner almost. So I'll wash my face and everything and then I will use these because for a while I was out of cotton rounds and I didn't feel like going to pick up more, and I had these in my cabinet from last summer, I think. I bought them because I saw somebody on YouTube talking about them and I thought that they sounded like a good idea. My skin tends to get a little bit more oily, but I don't particularly like the smell of witch hazel. I know it's supposed to be really good for your skin, but it's not my favorite, so I don't think I will repurchase these. I'm glad that I found a good way to use them up because they've been sitting there for forever, but they're not my favorite and I don't really like the witch hazel smell. I went through a box of my Biore Deep Cleansing Pore Strips, and this was a combo pack that had both for like the face and the nose. I really like these. I always repurchase these. Usually I'll use them after I use a good face mask that I feel like clears out my skin. I tend to get blackheads and things that bother me really badly here on my nose and then a little bit on my chin here as well. And so I like to use these, you know, once a week or so. And the nice thing about these, I mentioned this before as well, but they always come with like a little coupon code inside. So if you join the app on Facebook, you can turn in the coupon code and get points towards getting like a CVS gift card or a free box of these pore strips and things like that. So it's totally worth it to turn those in when you get these because I've gotten at least 3 or 4 free boxes of these through the coupons in the boxes. The next couple of things that I have go together, and they were things that my mom got me. She tends to buy skincare things on HSN and then she usually shares them with me and my sister. First thing that I have is the Way East Golden Root Renewal Daily Restoration Wear Beauty Treatment Pads, and there were 30 pads in here. And then along with that I have the Way East Golden Root Renewal Daily Restoration Wear Serum. So this had kind of like a liquid in it that you had a pad that was kind of soaked with that, and on top of that you're supposed to put the serum every day and then rub that over your face. I don't know that I particularly noticed any huge differences with this. I really liked that these pads were saturated, and even after I got all the way through the 30 pads, at the bottom there was still enough liquid that I actually just put a couple of cotton rounds at the bottom and was able to soak up a little bit more of the fluid that this was surrounded in and actually use it that way, which was kind of nice. So I actually got like 32 pads out of it. I don't know that I noticed a huge difference, but my skin usually felt, you know, nice and refreshed after I used this, and it would, you know, I think it might have made a little bit of a difference, but I don't know that I used it long enough to be able to tell because it was only really a month long. I don't know that I would repurchase these just because I didn't notice a huge difference and they're not easily accessible, but they worked for their purpose. I think they, you know, moisturized and made my skin feel pretty nice. The last facial skincare product that I have is the Ren Clear Skincare Glycol Lactic Radiance Renewal Mask. And this one I got in a set as well. It was in a Sephora set that came with like a little mini face scrub and then like a towel type thing, and I think serum that went with it too. This was a nice mask. I always felt like my skin looked a lot brighter after I used this. It smelled kind of like oranges, which was always kind of nice, and it felt a little bit goopy, but it was a nice mask that made me feel like my skin was much brighter and softer after I used it. It was on the expensive side. I think it was like $50 for the set or something like that. But I know like Essie Button raves about this, and it's pretty nice. I don't think that I would repurchase it right away, maybe sometime in the future, but as of right now, it's not something that I think is a necessity. Next, I'm going to move on to hair care. The first thing I'm going to start with is the Garnier Nutrice Nourishing Color Cream, and it's in 415 Soft Mahogany. I think I mentioned this last time as well. I think I had a box in their last Empties video as well, but I mentioned last time that I tend to get little blonde streaks up here by my hairline because the Proactive has benzoyl peroxide in it, and it tends to bleach around the edges of my hair if I get anything near the edges of my hair. So every few weeks I like to go in and dye it with this. I actually recently went to the Ulta salon and had my hair done, so I have highlights and I had them do it, which was a little bit different for me. But I really like using these. It always turns out pretty well. My hair feels really soft. I've never had any problems with not having enough to cover all my hair or anything like that, and it's fairly inexpensive. I have a hair mask that I've been working on for about a year at this point. It's the Organics Anti-Breakage Keratin Oil 3-Minute Miraculous Recovery. It looks really nasty because it's been in my shower for so long. This stuff I wasn't super impressed by. I bought it because I was going through kind of a hair mask phase, and this stuff I found that I had to use with my regular conditioner, otherwise I didn't feel like it was conditioning enough for my hair. I didn't notice any major changes when I used this, and I didn't really like the smell of it, and that's part of why it took me a year to use up. I would only use it maybe once a week if I was feeling super ambitious, because it just seemed like an extra step and an extra hassle. I wouldn't repurchase this. I wasn't impressed enough by it to want to go back and buy it again. I have another organics product that I did actually really like. This is the Extra Strength Moroccan Argan Oil, and it's for penetrating oil for dry and coarse hair. This I would use in my hair when it was damp after I got out of the shower. I didn't use it every day, but I used it a couple times a week maybe. This stuff I really liked. It made my hair feel really soft and silky, and it was good just to kind of smooth my hair and make it a little less frizzy on days that I didn't feel like necessarily going in and straightening it or something like that. So this I liked. I would probably repurchase at some point. I have a bunch of hair oils and other leave-in conditioners and things like that that I'd like to get through first, but I would definitely look into this again. The last hair care product that I have is the Alterna Stylist Summer Ocean Waves, and I don't know even that they still make this. I tried to look at Ulta a little bit last night when I was in there, and I didn't see it, but I really liked this stuff. I like the smell of it. In the summer, if I didn't feel like doing my hair, if I didn't feel like straightening it or curling it or anything like that, I would just wash it, and then I would spray this in and scrunch it up a little bit with some mousse and things like that, and just leave it be. It smelled really good, and I feel like it gave a good texture to my hair. And it lasted a really long time for me. I didn't use it a lot because I worry about drying out my hair with the sea salt spray, but I think it did a pretty nice job. Since I couldn't find this when I was looking, I didn't give it a lot of attention, but I briefly scanned and couldn't find it, so I decided to try the, I think it's Ouidad, is that how it's pronounced? O-U-I-D-A-D sea salt spray. And I'd seen that on YouTube at some point, so I was just kind of curious how it worked. I wanted to try something a little bit different, so I'll tell you how that goes. But this I have not repurchased yet, but I totally loved this, and I probably would repurchase if I could find it again. I only have 3 makeup products this time around. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm starting to use up that I'm really close to being done with for my next Empties video, but as of right now, I just have these 3. The first makeup product that I have is the Maybelline The Mega Plush Volume Express Mascara. I really like the packaging of this one. I just think it looks super cute, but I liked the product as well. This one I used on super natural days. It added a little bit of definition and length without looking like I was really wearing mascara, and I liked the formula of this one. I think there's something about it that's supposed to be like a gel formula. And that's pretty nice because then I don't feel like my lashes are too crispy or anything like that. It was definitely for natural days. I might repurchase this one. I think I'm really kind of stuck on my Maybelline The Rocket that I just got recently because I think that does a nice job of looking, it can look really natural, but also I can build it up and make it look really nice and dramatic as well. So I don't think I will go back to this one, although the formula was really nice. I used up an eyeshadow primer, and this one's looking a little worse for wear, but this was the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer I got with my Lorac Pro palette. I really liked this one. I think it was definitely time for it to start being used up. It was starting to smell a little bit off, but it did a really nice job of holding on my eyeshadow. I very rarely had issues with creasing or anything like that, and it was definitely very nice. I have a bunch of other eyeshadow primers that I need to go through, but this would be on the top of my list to consider repurchasing. I think I might like this one better than the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. The last kind of makeup-y item, I guess it's not technically makeup, but it's Soft Lips Cherry Lip Protectant, and these I really like. I used to love these when I was a kid too. I would always use these when I had chapped lips, but they do a nice job of making your lips feel really soft and hydrated. I feel like they go really quickly though because the packaging is just so tiny. Oh, I missed one. I have one last makeup type product, and it is the Benefit The Professional, and this is a primer that's supposed to minimize the appearance of your pores. This is the second tube I've gone through of this. I don't know that I'm absolutely in love with this. I feel like it does an okay job, but there's still some days where my pores are super obvious and out there, and I still feel like I have to go back in with something else to try to hide my pores a little bit better. I have a couple of other primers that I'm going to try out and see how those do on my pores, but this one's okay. I don't know that it's necessarily worth the price tag for me. The stuff that I have left to talk about is kind of random, and I'm not going to put it in any order, but I'm going to kind of all stick it in the random category. Some of it's shower stuff, some of it's fragrance, things like that, so I'm just going to go through what I've got left. First thing that I'm going to talk about, I talked about in my March favorites, and that is the Dove Winter Care Nourishing Body Wash. This stuff I absolutely love. I'm not a huge fan of the smell of it. It's not my favorite smell in the world, but this stuff I would keep repurchasing because it makes my skin feel so soft. I bought a 3-pack of these, and I've gone through 2 of them, I believe, and I shared one with my sister. I love this stuff. I don't know if the other Dove body washes work as well as this one. I haven't tried them, but this stuff really helps because my water's so hard and my skin feels so dry if I don't use something super moisturizing as a body wash. The next thing that I have is another shower product. It is the Gillette Satin Care Dry Skin Shave Gel with Shea Butter. This stuff smelled like Clinique Happy perfume, which always kind of threw me a little bit. The first time I used it, I was like, what is that? And it smelled a lot like the Clinique Happy perfume, which wasn't a bad thing. It was just kind of strange for a shower gel. But this stuff I liked quite a bit. I think it did a nice job of moisturizing, although I don't know that it moisturized any better than any other shave gel that I've ever really used. I'm using the Suave conditioner right now just to kind of see how that works. I think I like shave gels better than using conditioner as shave gel, but I mean, this stuff was fine. I would probably repurchase it. I'm not too picky on shave gels. Next up, I have a couple of lotions that I've used up, and I have been going through lotions kind of like a crazy person lately because my hands have been so dry. I wash them a lot and then they get dried out, so I keep trying to make sure that I have lotion near me to moisturize my hands at almost all times. The first thing that I have is the Soap & Glory Hand Food. This stuff smells a little bit weird at first. I got used to the scent and I didn't necessarily like it as much at first, but it does a really nice job of moisturizing my hands without feeling too greasy. I kind of hate that about some lotions, that I feel really greasy for a long time, so this one was a nice one to not feel greasy, and I'll probably repurchase this one after I get through more of my lotions that I have sitting around right now. The next thing that I have is a random lotion. It's by Perlier. It's the Lavender and Ombre, nope, okay, that's another language. It's the Perlier Lavender and Amber hand cream, and I have a bunch of these little lotions that my mom gave me because she had like a bunch of sets, and so I'm working my way through them. I have another one similar to this on my coffee table right now that I use. This one was fine. I like the smell of this one. It did a fine job moisturizing. There's nothing really too outstanding to say about these. I know my mom got these on HSN, so they're okay. I definitely have a bunch of lotions to work through. I prefer the hand food one to this one for sure though, because this one's a little bit more greasy. The next thing that I have is the Bio Oil. I talked about this in my nightly skincare routine. I was using the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Stretch Mark Cream or something like that before that was in my last Empties video. I definitely prefer the bio oil even though it's a lot more expensive. I feel like I see a lot more of a difference in the texture of my skin when I use this. I've been using it because I have stretch marks like from growing in general, so I have stretch marks on my thighs and my knees and things like that. So I've been using this at least once a day. I've been trying to use it twice a day. I bought a new bottle of this already. I really like the difference that I'm seeing in my skin, and hopefully if I keep using it I will see even better results. So I'm excited to see how this turns out, and I will let you guys know how it goes. But I tend to get a little bit self-conscious of my stretch marks on my thighs during the summer, like when I'm wearing shorts and things like that. So hopefully this will help to get rid of some of those and make them a lot less noticeable. I have one hand soap this time. This is the Bath & Body Works Winter Candy Apple Antibacterial Deep Cleansing Hand Soap. Not a lot to say about these. I really like the smell of any of the Bath & Body Works apple scents. I always feel like they make my hands smell really good for a little while. The smell lingers, and I really like this. On the Bath & Body Works train, I have something that doesn't even have a label anymore. This is a Bath & Body Works fragrance. I think it's a body mist, and it had like shimmer in it. I don't know if you can tell that. Like there's pieces of it that there was shimmer in it. I have had this for so long that like the label's peeled off. I think I've had this from middle school, honestly. But it's the warm vanilla sugar scent that I really, really like. I got a little bit sick of it by the time I got done with this bottle because I had about half of it left, and then I was determined to use it up because I've had it for so long. It did definitely add a little bit of shimmer to your skin. It wasn't super obvious, not enough that I wouldn't wear it because of that now that I'm older, but it smelled pretty good. I don't think I'd repurchase it. I have other fragrances that I'm a little bit more attached to at this point. Alright, last two things that I have. The first one is the Up and Up Nail Polish Remover, the strengthening one. Nothing too much to say about this. I go through a lot of nail polish remover. I usually change out my nails every week, so I go through quite a bit of this. I bought a bigger bottle, same brand. It's fine. I don't pay a lot of attention to my nail polish remover. My final product for this Empties video is the Dove Clear Tone Skin Renew Antiperspirant Deodorant. This stuff is the stuff that I always repurchase and always use. I really like that it keeps me from sweating too much. It keeps me from smelling. I don't know that the clear tone thing really helps. It's supposed to like make your underarms look nicer or something like that, but I don't know that it helps that much. But this stuff is fairly inexpensive and it does a good job of what it does, so I will probably keep repurchasing this. Alright, that is it for my product Empties video for this month. So I hope you enjoyed. I know that was a lot of products and not very much makeup stuff, which people tend to enjoy a little bit more. But hopefully up here in the next month or so I will be sharing a lot more products that I've used up for my Project Pan and sharing more makeup products with you for that. If you have any products that you've used up recently that you loved, please leave those in the comments below. I'd love to see your recommendations. If you enjoyed, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Stay a little while on my channel. I'd love to see you guys around. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.